This is Brother Teacher. Have you ever been in a situation where someone came to you and told you that someone said something negative about you? Something just outright slanderous, perhaps? An outright lie? Something derogatory? Wasn't true at all. Even if it was true, the fact that that information, be it true or false, has been passed around from person to person makes it questionable to me. So have you ever been in that situation? The he say, she say scenario? You know, I've experienced this in my lifetime. I can say, honestly, over more than two or three times at least. And it doesn't feel good, the idea that a supposed friend of yours or alliance comes to you and says, let's use the hypothetical name just for the purpose of this video. Let's say Joe. They come up to you and they say, hey, Joe, so and so said that you did this to so and so. And he's angry and his family's upset with you as well. Uh, my response would be, did you defend me? And on the other side, the person would say, I was just listening to what they had to say. No, I didn't say anything to them at all. Well, you are just as guilty as the person that issued the statements about me. Yes, you are. You are complicit. You have acquiesced, which means that you just withdrew yourself and didn't do anything at all. So it just made you automatically become a part of the problem, if indeed it is a problem. You see, nowadays, and it has been for quite some time, many, many years, maybe decades and maybe hundreds of years, you have men and women for that matter who don't have the nerve, don't have the courage to stand up for what is ethical, what is morally right. And they choose to just back down, turn a deaf ear, and let it be what it is. Especially when it's something that they should be speaking out against. For example, in the black community, so-called community, there have been many news forecasts where a shooting has taken place, and you have had several witnesses standing outside and actually saw the shooting take place. And there may have been a woman involved as the victim or even a child oftentimes. No one seems to have seen anything or heard anything or even know anything when questioned by the authorities. And I have seen authorities actually frustrated at the fact that no one stepped up and gave them any information as to who the perpetrator was. Why is this? I mean, you were there. Is it the snitches get stitches mindset? I mean, when do you become a grown man and a grown woman in life? It's definitely not based on chronological factors. It has everything to do with character. At the end of the day, it's all about character. Who are you really? Who do you think you are? What are you perpetuating? What are you perpetrating is what I'm trying to say. But you are perpetuating what you're perpetrating as well. So if you're perpetrating a fraud, then that's what you shall be until you decide to change. Sometimes change is not easy, it's not comfortable, doesn't feel good, but sometimes it's good for you. So that scenario that I gave earlier about Joe having one of his so-called friends come to him and say someone was saying some negative things about him, but the friend didn't stand up for Joe. He didn't say, I don't want to hear that. You know, you can take that mess somewhere else. If you don't have anything good, don't say anything at all. If you don't have anything good to say. He could have stood his ground and said that to this person and said, I don't see Joe as that type of person. Joe is not that person, because you really do know Joe and you're supposedly Joe's friend. Instead, this white stripe, this imaginary stripe, comes down your back. Some associate that with being a coward. It's probably true. You don't have any intestinal fortitude. You don't have any guts. Just like the person that has the guts and the audacity to say negative things about someone that you know intimately or supposedly know. So where do you draw the line? My friend, whoever you are, you need to make up in your mind that either you stand for something or you don't stand for it. You see, the he say, she say mindset can get a lot of people in trouble, because they're speaking, the people who are attacking another person's character, so to speak, they're speaking oftentimes from hearsay themselves. They're not knowledgeable of any situation. They're just garbage cans picking up something that they can just throw around casually. So what is their motive? They don't love themselves, because people who love themselves don't talk negatively about other people. And if you're doing something positive in your life, you don't have time, even myself, especially myself, I don't have time to sit around the house or to sit at a coffee shop talking about how I don't like another individual, or that I hate another person, or how this person is not good at this particular thing or that particular thing, and what this person has been doing behind his girlfriend, his wife, or what have you, or conversely, her doing behind his back. Who has time for that except the person who's not using time wisely, except the person who has not really found themselves and where they really fit into this puzzle called life? Person who doesn't love themselves. Because if you love yourself, you won't be talking about someone else in that fashion. You'll love everyone. And you can't love anyone outside of you if you don't love you. So the he say, she say mentality, I don't subscribe to it. I don't involve myself in it. I don't have time for that, because I'm trying to reach the stars each and every day of my life, trying to perfect and better myself and my craft and everything that I do, to include my social relationships with my friends, family, and potentially new friends and associates. I don't have time for the other stuff, and that's the small stuff. It doesn't even matter. And those people who do make it a habit, make it their business to try to be in somebody else's business, ultimately will end up with no business. This is Brother Teacher. Let me know what your feelings are in your comments in the comment section below. And I hope that this was of some value to you, and perhaps you can see between the lines, read that is, and comprehend exactly where it is that I'm coming from. It was not that complex. In other words, be focused about you. And when you're focused about you, then everything will come and become clear to you. That's all I had to say. I'll see you in the next video. Be blessed.